guys and gals, Nary here from Drake Wing Game, and a Stuffy Bound Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you on a Let's Play episode of Far Beyond the World. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back in, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Which one were we on? There we go. Alrighty. What do you wish for? We can't tell, otherwise it won't come true. Fair enough. Might have a make-a-wish then? I asked, causing the kids to exchange wearied glances. At first they appear reluctant, but eventually one of the cubs in the back speaks up. I think it would help to have a magical human's wishing stone in there. He's not magic! The largest of the kids protests, but the girl next to him marches up to me and takes hold of my hand to everyone's surprise. Magic or not, you said they're rare. He must be lonely, so he needs all the wishes he can get. Her bluntness causes me to choke in amusement, but I'm also incredibly touched. She marches us up to the well and then points at the gravel around it. You must find a wishing stone. Then think the wish really, really hard before you drop it in. And which one is the wishing stone? I ask, looking at the various pebbles littering the ground. You'll know. She shrugs and I smile, beginning my quest for a wish. I might be diligent to humor the child, but at the same time I also want to find a pretty stone for my own sentiment. Eventually I spot a nice round white pebble. That's a good one. The little girl nods approvingly. How do you know? I just do. Again, she shrugs. I must admit, I love her moxie. I straighten up and squeeze the stone in the palm of my hand, taking a deep breath. I do so theatrically, as I know all the cubs are watching, but at the same time, what if... I wish that Ranok stopped hiding things from me. I wish that he finally started to see me as an asset, not a liability. And off the stone goes as everyone holds their breath. A few seconds later, a soft plume draws the previous cheers from the kids and they all dance around. Kalen. Ranok softly calls out my pup name, and the cubs fall silent, looking to him with worry. It's quite alright, he's a good wolf, but I do have to go. I ruffle the little girl's hair and proceed to walk away. Thank you for the wish! Bye! Having a human wish is almost like having an elf wish. Now the well's bound to work. Shut up, idiot! They continue their previous games in a laugh, following Ranok out of the maze of backyards. He seems quite taken by the ease with which I interact with strangers, and his gentle smile and subtle tail wags are a reward in and of themselves. Eventually we step out of the shadowy alleyways into a decoratively cobbled opening. The small square surrounding the eponymous inn is quite cozy, with the richly adorned townhouse almost hugging the sprawling structure. The inn is big, much bigger than I expected, with various additions stacking up onto it like a layered cake. Damn, this place is huge! That's what happens when a building is famous for nearly 1,000 years. Ranok muses with satisfaction, taking in my glee and amazement. Is it really that old? Well, the establishment at least, not the building itself. The wolf shrugs. If I remember correctly, Vithir said it was rebuilt several times and expanded. There you go. Water time. Oh yeah. For sure. I nod, noticing different parts that show a distinct shift of styles and brickwork over the ages. But wow, I just love it. I jump up with joy and we walk up towards the main entry. A massive sign, the stranded bard, hangs up above, while the portico bears an inscription, "Come ye weary and heavy laden, I will give you rest." It almost feels like I'm approaching a sanctuary of sorts. The place is so crowded that the patrons spill out onto the surrounding square, drinking at the outside tables. The weather is nice enough to allow it, and it doesn't seem like a bad alternative, but Ranok is bent on getting inside. That's when we met with a large tigress with a bosom for days barring the entry. We want in. The wolf states coldly, but she just shakes her head. I'm sorry, good sirs, we're at capacity. We have 2 traveling minstrels with us, and the guests have been crowded in since last week. It's good. We sit. Ranok mutters to her in utter frustration. No, sir, the point is, there's nowhere for you to sit. You can take a spot at one of the outside benches, when and if it frees up. She points to the outdoor space, and I'm almost inclined to agree. It is a nice day, but Ranok persists. Out, no good. We sit in. The female simply rolls her eyes and sighs heavily, and I place a hand on the wolf's shoulder, but he brushes it off gently. Barkeep. Sir, I've told you there's no room. Barkeep, he insists, forcing the tigress to look to me in annoyance. Could you please explain to your master? He's not my master. I'm really tired of this slave bullshit. A companion, then. That we don't have any room left. I nod and turn to face the wolf. She said, I know what she said. Tell her to get the barkeep. I looked at him in slight discomfort. Are we really going to pull the most classical Karen move? We are, aren't we? I sigh in defeat and do as asked. Ma'am, could we please speak to the owner? I roll my eyes internally and give me the number for corporate while you're at it. Unsurprisingly, the female doesn't budge. I'm sorry, sir, but we're full up, truly. The tigress continues in a growingly desperate tone until she's finally shooed away from the doorway by a rather short, round male. Walk away, you dumb girl! Can't you see this is no ordinary guest? He calls out in an angered voice to the female's utter confusion. But... Ah, forgive us, Lord Ranok. All this girl is good for is having her enormous udders milked like the daft cow she is. The male bows deeply, inviting us in. This way! Come, come! He insists merrily and struts down the main hall. I look to Ranok in confusion as he gives a satisfied, smug smile towards the puzzled waitress as we proceed inside. That was interesting. When you visit with the magistrate, especially unannounced, with a chest full of gold, the word spreads. Second, y'all. Alright, y'all, we are back. Alright. Maybe. His cheeky grin does not dissipate, while I finally take a glance across the inn proper. It's an enormous structure composed of various nooks and annexes surrounding the central temple dedicated to cheer, a massive hall enclosed by two-story colonnades supporting the upper gallery ending at an open stage. The place is packed to the brim, with every table occupied by creatures of various origins. If the city seemed diverse, the Stranded Bard is a cosmopolitan world in its own right, perhaps even the city's beating heart. There's huskies, which I only distinguish from the wolves by their curled-up tails. There's also lynxes and lions, and at least a few leopards, all drinking and making merry together like one big family. This place is something else entirely. It doesn't look like they need our business, and we're not going to be returning customers, not anytime soon at least. I mutter as we make our way to the back of the hall. Why make an exception? They might not need our coin, but they need prestige. Having nobles and dignitaries stay here makes this place stand out above all others. Ranok winks and I look to him with a smile. He's full of surprises. He might act brash at times, but all in all, he's not a dummy. Here we are! The barkeep bows gracefully while unfurling a long napkin from behind his apron. He uses it to brush the table in a small alcove while pulling away curtains which concealed it from the rest of the building. I have prepared a spot just like you requested, intimate yet still part of the main hall. Perfect. Much thanks. It's hard not to smile at his tigery, but seeing how it does not faze the barkeep, I decided to act like a grown-up and I ignore it as well. Oh, my lord, it is I who thank you! Our host takes another deep bow and rushes off. Ranok seats himself immediately while I'm starting to suspect that this wasn't really a gamble on his part. You've planned this ahead, haven't you? You really think I would have left our visit at the famous Inn to chance? Heh, I suppose not. I may have bribed the barkeep last night to reserve us a spot. I was right then. Cheeky. As I'm about to continue, another waitress approaches us, but her expression shows she's not too pleased. What do you want? He throws in politely at Ranok, and I can see his ears fold in slight annoyance. Meal and wine. Ale is most you can afford. The female exhales dismissively, shifting her weight to one leg and giving me a rather disgusted look. Do you even speak? Better than you. I scoff, quite surprised by her off-putting attitude. What are you doing? The barkeep returns, aghast that she's talking with us. He's holding in his paws a large, fully lit candelabra and plops it in the center of our table. Just a wolf with his slave. She brushes her paw in our direction, and the male squares off with her. Be silent, woman, or you'll find yourself without a job. Did you not see I've ushered them in personally? Go away and find yourself some pots to scrub, he commands, and the female walks off with the same sassy attitude she came towards us. I don't expect she'll be working here for long. The barkeep folds his hands together apologetically and bows as deeply as his back will allow him to. Please forgive me. She's new. It's been quite a rush these past few weeks, and I simply had to take on more staff. Some might not be cut out to work here, though. She's by no means what Stranded Bard stands for. We're open to every weary traveler, no matter the species or depth of their pocket. It's very reassuring to hear you say that. I smile, looking back to Ranok, who doesn't seem much bothered by the incident. We want meal, and wine if can. Excellent. The barkeep claps his paws merrily. We just have a most succulent of roasts finishing. It's practically melting off the spit. Good. Wine. Very good. Lots of coin. Oh, I wouldn't presume to impose too high a price. Lots of coin. Ranok insists, and I must admit I'm enjoying the way he's spoiling me lately. Arc wine, then, and I have a few bottles of excellent quality straight from Link's Terra. I'm told the very same is served at the palace in Tigeron to the Sorcerer King himself. The barkeep says with pride, and the wolf nods. Good. We have Sorcerer King wine. Mel bows deeply once again and rushes off in good humor, as if he just got some great news. I guess a prospect of draining a guest of coin would be counted as such. That seemed a bit over the top. I mutter worriedly. Considering what I'm heading back into, when will be the next time I'll get to splurge out like this? And it might be our last meal together. I frown slightly, to which he quickly changes his tune. Might. Besides, you'd be saving me 3 talents if you'd come back with me, no? True, but you've already spent nearly the same amount. At least I'm bankrupting myself on someone who won't throw it back in my muzzle. He nods towards the dress, and although I chuckle, it does feel bad how Verissa treated such a gift. But I don't want to dwell on it. It's not my place to dictate how she's to act when persistently courted by a rude friend, by a crude friend. Take you for a wine drinker. Special occasion calls for a special marker. Speaking of special markers, I look around our table, enjoying how remarkable and romantic this setting truly is. A private alcove, candelabras, a delicious meal for just the two of us. Should I treat it as a date, then? A date? I assume it's your way of saying courtship. He chuckles. I think we're slightly past that point, don't you agree? Yeah, we did skip a few steps. A few? We tore up an entire book on the subject. 2, in fact, 1 for each of our species. Look at you. It seems idioms aren't exactly a foreign language to your kind. No, but your random gibberish is. He teases and we both laugh. In either case, I quite enjoy this. I glide my hands across the table. Dating is very integral to human culture. Again, you mean courtship. I'd say it's pretty integral to any species, really. The wolf shrugs. Potato, potato, you know what I mean. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Anyway, I love you all, and I shall see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!